Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Business Takeout, the Healthy Entrepreneur Show. My name is Maxine Choy, and I am your host. My guest today is O'Neil McLean, and O'Neil is the owner of XP Eats and this app and this wonderful business. And this show is brought to you by Business Takeout, a social enterprise who recognizes business through wealth and education. Please follow them on every platform. I mean, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, because they have a ton of information with different podcasts that helps businesses thrive in any period, whether it's during COVID or not. So please keep them handy by subscribing to their sites and supporting. So, O'Neil, welcome to
Mhm.
the Healthy Entrepreneur Show. I'm so glad to have you. Really.
Thanks. Pleasure being here.
Yes, I know, because when we first met, I thought, wow, you know what? We need to have a chat. And I'm just so glad that we finally did this. So we're gonna get right in. This that beautiful room you're in. Are you at home right now?
Yes, I am.
I wanted to ask you that because I was like, oh my goodness, that's just my type of thing. But anyway, so um tell us a little bit about what you do. This XP Eats, it's floating around. Everybody's talking about it, and people are jumping on the bandwagon. Restaurants, individuals, everybody. So tell me a little bit about XP Eats.
Okay, well, XP Eats, it's a food delivery app. It's very close to, Uber Eats in the way that you order your food, it gets delivered to your home. But we are taking a little bit different approach. We're not taking on, millions of dollars from investors and potentially losing control of what we're trying to do. We are opening it up to the public to allow people, anybody, to basically select a restaurant and say, hey, I want to sponsor this restaurant. So we provide tablets for free to that restaurant
Mhm.
once an individual sponsors them, and we share the revenues from every single order with the person who sponsored that restaurant. And what this could potentially do, especially what's going on right now with COVID and just life, people are using their mobile phone just to order everything, not just food, is it can change people's financial future, provide residual income for them.
Exactly. So residual income is what we want to do. Everybody wants that. I want that, right?
Exactly.
So from what I understand is that you're similar to Uber Eats, um, where you have your machines placed in restaurants, and but these machines are sort of managed. They're managed by you, but people get
Yeah,
to opt into the buying and
yeah,
basically make a profit from it, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Right,
And it's automated. So there's no, hey,
right.
I'm mailing you a check. But basically you see your income on the app itself every single day in real time. And then the funds are available every 3 days so you can transfer it to your bank account. It's as
Right.
simple as
So, I mean, I love this idea, O'Neill, because what you've done is you've said, okay, this is a really cool business. It's not new. It's been around because Uber Eats came out with it first, right? Then we've got
yes.
DoorDash and we've got other ones out there. Um, but I think yours is unique in the sense that you are now opening it up to people so that we can actually get success from it, residual income. And I like that concept. And I know that some people might be wondering right now, like, what do you mean? Like, how does it work? Um, so explain to me first, why did you want to share this with everybody else? Why wouldn't you want to take on this whole thing yourself?
Well, my history is technology. I've always been behind the scenes, with some really big projects. One of them that was really big was the Bicentenary Center back in 2007. It celebrated abolishment of slavery in Ontario. To me, it was huge because it's like a museum that gave the history of Black slavery. It highlighted people and that were teaching our history. And
Mm,
I, at the time, you learn what you learn in school, and then it's like you're just your mind is just open to like what really happened. And I feel like we've been disfranchised,
mm-hmm.
and so throughout the years, I've sat on the board of the BBPA, Urban Financial Services Coalition, which is banking and financial. Um, I've worked with the Ontario government directly with the Prime Minister, but I don't put myself out there as like, hey, I'm doing these things. And I've employed a lot of people. So the way that I see it, I've just been learning a lot from working with the IBMs of the world, the Samsungs of the world, and the way that money flows and how it works. And
Mm,
there is a way to actually share money and earnings with people who either need it, deserve it, or entrepreneurs that want to participate in technology but don't have the resources to build their own. Um,
exactly.
yeah. So that's really what I wanted to do was like, hey, I want to build this really cool technology akin to like an Amazon. Maybe we'll get there one day. I'm hoping we get there one day. They're the
Oh,
richest
you
company.
will. You will.
But in the meantime, we want to do hundreds of millions of dollars, and we want to be able to distribute those funds to people directly. No games. It's not a multi-level marketing thing. It's nothing like that. It's just straight business. It's straight. Here's an order. Here's your percentage from it, and it's all automated. You know,
Right.
really easy.
So, okay, so then you have a passion for helping people then, because I have listened to your presentations before, many of them, and I always find that people are so they always ask that question, why would you not just take on the whole profit for yourself? And I think just from getting to know you, you seem like the type of person that just likes to see other people succeed. It seems that way. And I think based on the experiences you just laid out about where you worked, I think that probably made you see the dynamics of how money. So you spend money to make money, or you and then you share the wealth, or what have you, right? So I think that this idea, this concept is so unique because not only is it for people who are, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, it's for like a mother, a father, a teenager, or even like who wants to have some residual income, invest in something that can yield them some return without much work, right? So I mean, for anybody who wants to find out more about XP Eats and how they can get involved and start earning some residual income, please follow them on Instagram or reach out to O'Neil directly because it is definitely a great way to start something. I think that you're going to grow. I know you're going to grow, and
Yeah.
things are looking great. Um, I wanted to ask you. So, what do you do to maintain everything? Do you have a team of people helping you? Do you do this by yourself? Family? How do you do it?
Yeah. So I have a team of 10 developers. The current team has been working with me for about 7 years on other projects. XP Eats, we've been developing it for a little bit over 2 years. We started out as My XP, which we used at events such as Caravana. We sponsored it, and Barbados on the Water, where you can just line up. Sorry, before when you're lining up for food, instead of lining up for food and waiting like an hour or 2 hours for your food, you just download our app, order what you want, and you get a ping, and the food's ready, and you go pick it up. So we
That's a
were
great
doing that,
idea.
and then COVID hit, and we're like, oh, well, there aren't going to be any events. Let's just hurry up and turn, what we want and what we're doing into a food delivery. So we had to build the delivery portion. So that took some time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
And
you
then
started off. Sorry, go
we
ahead.
started off with my XP, my experience, which had its unique, uh, business model. That's similar to XP Eats in terms of sharing revenue and things like that.
Right.
It just didn't have the delivery piece.
Got it. Got it.
But in terms of motivation and what I'm doing is my daughter, my mother, my family. I'm doing that. I started mainly doing this, for my daughter, for my family, You know, trying to give her a life greater than what I received. That this, and my mom did a great job with my brother and I and my sisters. Number one, I was born in Jamaica, came up when I was 5 years old. She put us, make sure she put us in great schools.
Hmm.
She got me acting at a young age, and I was a quiet kid. So she turned a quiet kid into somebody who doesn't mind standing up in front of 16,000, 20,000 people talking about, whatever I have to talk about at that time.
Right.
Um, so I thank her for that. And I'm doing all of this for her. And if anybody's in
Absolutely.
some of these meetings we have every week, every Thursday, my mom is in there listening. My dad
Yes.
comes in listening and asks questions, and I don't mind it at all. Her screen name says mom. So
Yes, yes. Well, it's nice that you have the support. I know that with this app, there's probably some uh, technical issues, glitches, bugs that you've had to fix. So definitely, it's always good to have a
like
team.
any platform.
Yeah, with any platform. I know, I know.
Yes.
So you mentioned your daughter now. So how old is your daughter?
She's 10.
10.
10
And
turns 15.
yes, and your daughter is an entrepreneur already.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that because we know that these kids, as from the time they come out the womb these days, I have a niece, she's not even 2, and she knows how to press the YouTube button, and you know how the ads come up and you have to skip the ad? She skips
Yeah.
the ad. She's not 2.
Yeah.
She skips the ad and she presses play and she keeps sliding up and swiping left and all that stuff. So I guess what I'm saying is that children these days, they are getting into technology, learning so quick, faster than us. It's the way to go. So your daughter now is an entrepreneur, sees what you're doing. Tell me a little bit about the relationship you have with your daughter, with the business aspect.
Business part of it. I learned so much ever since she was a baby, and I was motivated to give her more as a baby, like the little things from like
Right.
ABC. Like when I was young, I didn't know my ABCs of when I was like 5 or 6 years old or something. Like I was having trouble. My daughter knew hers like since she was 2, 3 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I surround her with, I'm going to be a CEO, I'm an entrepreneur, learning what it is, learning about assets and liabilities at a very young age, because money, they need to understand money. You know, like we weren't taught about that, and it's not
No.
necessarily a bad thing. It's just how we keep count, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's really into anime, Japanese anime. She loves the culture. She draws. She's a great artist. I wish I had a picture I could just hold up right now because I'm so
Yeah.
proud of her.
Where is it?
But yell upstairs, tell her to bring it down, but she'll say no.
Is she there right? Is she there right now? Because I know she's not shy.
She's upstairs. She's doing her homework. So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yeah. So she has her own. She has an Instagram page, but she does not. At 10 years old, she does not touch Instagram. She doesn't touch social media because people get hooked on those things, and I don't want my child being addicted to content that is not necessarily still controlled. But she
Mm-hmm.
understands what social media does and the fact that she can sell some of her product, her art there. So she has her own website as well, mellochew.com, which is a
Wow.
Japanese name. She knows how to code, so she learned that in school. She's going to spend
Already.
some time with my developers as well, so they can teach her some coding. Um, but she's a smart kid. I'm proud of her.
Oh, yeah. So somebody just said, so proud of you, O'Neill. This is thank you, Natalie. Or Natalie? Natalie?
Natalia.
Natalia, sorry. Okay. Thank you so much, Natalia. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the way that the world is going. And not to say that every child is going to get into technology, but it's interesting to see how they adapt to it, or even just how much interest they have in it. And with you saying that your daughter is into coding, I don't even know what coding is, what the behind the website stuff, right?
You
Is
could
that what
say,
it is?
yeah,
Yeah,
building websites, and it's a little bit
right.
more than that. It's in your cell phones, in your razor that you use. It has to turn the light on.
Wow. Wow. And this is all you? This is all you're doing, teaching her all this, or is it something that she's interested in doing?
Oh, she's interested, number one, but you have to say that you point them in the right direction at an early age, and then they'll decide what they're interested in. Because she's more interested in the art. It's just that if she wants to showcase their art, she needs to learn these other tools. Needs to know about money. You know what I mean? It all
Right.
together, and she needs to be able to present herself right. So, if you ever see her doing a video, she's standing up straight, she's talking, presenting herself, speaking well. A lot of that stuff she taught herself. She's seen from other people, or yes, seen me work.
Wow.
I take her to some of the presentations I've done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
She's been to my office. Some of my clients where we're developing some
Wow.
technology for them. I open up the machines and I say, hey, this is a kiosk and it's touch screen. These are the cables. This is what they do. So she sees it. Um, because I remember when I was 16, and the best thing that ever happened to me was to do a uh, co-op with a
Mm-hmm.
post-production house to do special effects.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
So
Yeah.
she
So
pretty much has the bug from you then. Sounds
she
that
what?
way. She's
She
got the
what?
bug from you. She's got the
Yeah.
techie bug from you.
Maybe it's genetic.
Absolutely. So, like, what what would you want her to be? Like, you know how parents always go, I want my daughter to be like a dentist or a doctor or a teacher. And I'm all for, like, letting our children do what they're passionate about or what comes naturally or makes them happy, right? How do you feel about the fact that she's now thinking entrepreneur?
Um, I feel great about it. I'm happy. I'm happy even if she decides to, go a different route. Um, but based on the tools that she's developed, she's really great with math. Um, you know, um, I don't know. There's just so many things that she can do. It doesn't have to be tech oriented. It's
Right.
just the comprehension is the key thing. As long as they
Mm,
feel confident that they could just listen, watch, do research, and
right.
comprehend, that's a huge thing. Is this that confidence is great.
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing when you see how everything has changed with our children, the direction they want to go in. Some of them are saying, or a lot of them are saying, I do not want to be in an office every all day.
Mm.
It's crazy. My daughter, she's 17, and she's like, Mommy, I can't see myself sitting around the desk for 7 hours at all. And I'm thinking, I mean, my brain is still on this. Well, what do you expect you're going to be? Even though I'm an entrepreneur myself, I still think, well, no, no, no. Maybe she needs to be in a secure job, like just from the
Oh,
start, right? That's how I'm
yeah.
feeling for her, right? But I know it's crazy, even though I know the feeling of not wanting to be sitting in one place all day, doing somebody else's job. And I've always been concerned about what I'm doing and what she sees me doing and how she would carry on her legacy, the legacy of a working mother, parents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that you're teaching your daughter and you're showing her, you're building the legacy so that she can be okay actually with this business you're doing. I think it's a great thing. Did
Yeah.
you tell her everything about XP Eats? Does she know about it and everything?
Has the password to my laptop. She knows how to
Oh,
access my server. She has contacts with my developers. Anything ever happens to me, God forbid, she has access to everything. Um,
wow.
so
So for anybody who's watching right now, I would love to hear your comments about that. Whether, having your child at such a young age being able to have access, right? Or even
yeah,
the level of information given to them at this age. Like, where does it, is it something that you would do? Because I know when I had my business, my daughter was 5 at the time. And I remember having her there as just like a little child because I had nowhere else to keep her, right? Actually, she wanted to stay with me. And
mhm.
after a while, I started to see that she was really into the business without even me telling her anything, she would take people on tours. At 5 years old, she was Miss Chatty. She would answer the phone. She'd give people information, and then when she would go home, she would be with her dolls, and she would mimic my business with the dolls.
Oh, that's
She
kind
would,
of cute.
yeah, it was very cute. She would
Yeah,
mimic them and just create a whole new business based, like a spin-off of what I did.
yeah,
So I for a moment I thought, wow, these kids are watching and they really pay attention to what we're doing. And that's why sometimes when I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm saying to myself, I hope that I'm teaching her, the right thing in
yeah,
terms of being having a discipline, a plan, um, seeing the return of the time, the investments, right?
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a bit crazy. So with this app, where do you see it in about, say, 5 years from now? This whole business, because remember Uber Eats started off. I don't know how many years Uber Eats has been around, and of course, there's been so many. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, it needs to be an international. So what we're doing right now is so a big part of that revenue sharing piece and that model is being able, so let's say you're an app user, is to log in, go to the share and get paid button, and add your bank account. So those funds that you're accumulating, you can transfer to your bank. Now the detail, right, about it is the fact that this has to work in Canada, US, Europe, Africa, all those places.
Mm,
We have to
it does.
integrate our technology into these banks so you can easily transfer funds to your bank. So right now, what we're also doing is we're adding. You're going to see it in maybe a few weeks in terms of the updates. You can add your debit credit card, so you can transfer it to that. Not everybody wants to transfer to their Visa, for example, but they transfer funds to their debit card because it shows up in your bank. So it's
Right.
just little things like that. So that just, opens up the world financially. And in terms of the company as a whole and where we want to go is yes, you're ordering food, but you could also accumulate that cash and send it to a family and friend. So if you have a family member that's in a different country, you can actually send money so they can buy groceries. They can buy groceries on our app. They can
Oh,
deposit to their bank. They can do all those things. And that's where we want to be and where we want to be within the next 2 years, really, not five. But, at
nice,
that stage, we're hoping to grow, larger. Um,
nice.
and then one other key thing is the fact that to grow, we need to do more outreach, discussions like this. We need to team up with people, companies that not only want to generate revenue for themselves, but they want to help us grow the network. And that is going to take money. It's going to take resources. We're
Hmm.
going to employ a lot of people, create jobs, and we're
Nice.
hoping we could team up with government for that as well and take advantage of some of the programs that are out there where we can, whether it's grants or loans and things like that, try to stay away from the
Right.
loans though.
Yes, yes,
It's like a necessary evil.
for
But
sure.
I do personally, I have something against, let's say, like equity investors. Um,
Yes.
I Equity investors in Canada, I find it's a small group of people who, in terms of deals with the large sums of cash,
Hmm.
like the millions or 50 million, 30 million here or there. Um, but you tend to lose a little bit of control and then time. You always hear it's like these small companies, they move really quick when technology changes, but the big companies, it takes forever to
Yes.
change direction. I want that versatility to make changes.
Hmm.
But I
Hmm.
also need access to a lot of funding to do that. So if there are individuals or groups or investors that want to come on board, they're investing in our networking, expanding it, which is direct revenue compared to, hey, I want 50% of your company, and then totally mess things up. I don't want that.
No, no. I like that
Yeah.
idea. What would you say is your biggest challenge with this whole business
The biggest
model?
challenge is funding everything myself. And that's like the biggest challenge. Um, but and then the other one would be I guess the technology, just the challenges of when you think something's going to take 10 days and it ends up taking 30 days because something's wrong with the server that's out of our
Hmm.
control. Like I think, what does it happen today that a couple of the big players just went down, their sites just went down for an hour, and it was because
Oh,
their server
really?
was hacked, you know.
Mm.
Um, those things, it's a nuisance, and it happens to the little guys too, right? We
Hmm.
had an attempt last week, and it took us like 2 days to. It didn't affect our users. It was just we had to clean up a whole bunch of clutter that was put there because you know some spam got put into an email
For
type of thing.
sure. Yeah, that's gonna come with anything. That's what technology is all about. You're gonna get spam, hackers, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So what about the end users? Are there any challenges that they could be faced with?
Just user ease of use. So, you're gonna
Okay.
have some people who want one thing, another group who wants another thing. Right now, like for example, the share and get paid portion where you can share our app and then you can make money off of your friends who maybe order food.
Mm-hmm.
You can see how many people you shared. So you can say, hey, I shared with 20 people, and you can see that it says 20. But a
Right.
little update we want to do is you click on that number and it shows all the individuals you've shared with,
Who
like
shared
their
it? Yeah.
name, not so much their name. But
So this,
mhm,
so the share and get paid. So basically, somebody goes on, download your app,
yes,
right, and then share it with their friends.
yes,
And once they share that, and the friends use the app to order food, they get paid.
they get a percentage of all our.
Percent.
Yes,
Nice. And from what I know, I don't have the app open because I'm using my phone. A lot of the restaurants, or even Caribbean restaurants right now, there's flavors on there. Flavors, I think.
yes, yes.
Yardies is on there. That's in Pickering. Can you tell me some more that's on there right now?
Sunrise is on there, the
Hmm.
franchise. So we're just adding their stores. They have quite a few stores.
Hmm.
Um, uh, I'm trying to remember.
There's
Um,
a burrito
trying to
place
remember
I
the
know.
food in Pickering. Sorry.
Yes, there's a
Yeah. So
burrito
we're
place as
another
well.
thing that we're launching in Pickering, Ajax, with the Oshawa. So it's
Right.
mainly that area, and we're going to be adding. There's a few locations in Brampton, Lakeshore. You know, so we're just expanding based on the partnerships we're creating with this.
Nice. So if anybody is listening right now, download the app, share it with your friends, tell them, listen, download this app, order your next meal from any one of those places. And then of course there comes the revenue sharing, right? I think it's a great idea.
Say it better
Um,
than me.
what?
You say it better than I do.
Oh, it's just my little advertising thing.
Next career is
Um, so O'Neil, what do you do in your spare time when you're not around the computer in a suit?
oh, I'm
Yeah.
always in this.
You're
Always.
always in a suit. Every time I see you, you're in a suit. And that's why I kind of put myself together a little bit. I thought, what, let me just wear a button-up shirt, look like I'm.
My life, I grew up playing sports. Basketball is my game. And I basically run, work out every morning or every other morning just so I could stay in shape for basketball, really, because I'm getting there in age. But like my friend, Clayton, Chippy, Thomas, we went to the same high school together and things like that. And we have our little WhatsApp group. So it's really good just to keep your mind into the things that you enjoy doing. So, our group, we talk about basketball, what's going on with the NBA, things like that. And, we share content, and it's just good to sometimes break away and be like, hey, what are these guys doing? I do put it on mute because I don't want to hear all these bling, bling, bling when they're talking about stuff, but I do check in. And I like when I sometimes like, or last summer more so, I share the fact that I was working out, and I did that for me because I just I don't know, I just like to see where I was at, weight wise and things like that. And I was speaking to one of my clients actually. He's like, yeah, I follow you on Facebook, and I saw, how come you haven't posted in a while? Because it helped motivate me just
Mm-hmm.
doing that. You at your age, um,
They put that in there, right? Don't you just love that when they put that in there at
yeah,
your
and it was
age?
genuine. Yeah, and it was genuine, right?
Yes,
It
of
was like,
course.
and it made me realize that I'm, even though I'm to myself quiet, I still influence some people. He's older than I am too, but I still influence people in a positive way. So
Yes,
even though I try to keep my personal life separate, but sometimes it's good just to share some of the good things that you enjoy.
right. There was a few questions on there that popped up. Can we see them? I think somebody may have asked, "Oh, any plans to incorporate cryptocurrency payments?" Wow,
Lord, who'd that come from?
I have no idea, but I don't know if this applies to
I
this.
Every single week we are asked about cryptocurrency. I have a personal view on crypto.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, and
just
it's like, you know what?
it's not
Hey,
that
you
I
answer that.
I think it's going to be our future. I think it's just it's so unregulated. You just invite a lot of potential.
Mhm. Yep.
I just say stuff without because I don't want to give it this stigma that it's illegal. Not illegal, sorry, a lot of illegal things happening in there.
It's
There's a
just
lot of good
uncertain. There's uncertainty.
stuff.
It's not
Yes. So,
secure.
but
It's
the short answer is yes, we are going to consider it. And it is, if people are, doing transactions in a certain types of currency, we can make that available at the right time. But I think a lot of other companies are trying to see where it's headed.
hmm
Because at the end of the day, if somebody pays in crypto for a food order, you know how difficult it's going to be getting a refund?
Oh,
It's
I
like the
can't
little
even
details.
imagine. Exactly. Wow.
So just
Okay.
in
Interesting.
case.
And Tricia says, "How do we get in touch with you?" Oh, well,
Want me to give my
we can
phone
answer
number?
that.
How many people listening?
I know exactly. We're going to display that at the end of the
My
podcast.
phone number or how to get in touch with me?
I think she may want your phone number. Who knows, right?
Okay. So you could go to the website peat.com and then go to the contact form and we read every single message. Um, so you can reach us that way. And there's a nice little drop down just so if you're interested in the revenue generation piece or becoming a driver or anything like that, you can just
Right.
click on it.
This is great. For anybody who's catching the tail end of this show, what we're talking about is we're speaking to O'Neil Reed. Where did I get that from? O'Neil McLean, uh, who owns XP Eats, and XP Eats is a food ordering app similar to Uber Eats, and it you have a buy-in option for people to buy into the business to make residual income,
Yes.
right? And then we also so for all of that information, if anybody is interested, wherever you are in the world, please connect with O'Neil. Join his seminars every Thursday, I think, so that he can give you all the information you need. See, I'm getting it right. Follow him on Facebook, Instagram, whichever way. Just hunt him down and give him a call. And we also
Easier
talked
than
about what?
It's easier than you think to read me.
I know. And we also talked about the fact that your beautiful daughter, who's only 10, is also in on this journey of entrepreneurism and being in the tech industry already, learning about coding and doing her own thing, and um, that and just how you support her and how it's going to be changing the way that our children do, like, just survive. I really like that that you have this uh, quality about you that you include your daughter in it, and I just admire that, and I think that she definitely looks up to you so much because I don't know, she just seems like just I've spoken to her before, as you know. So one time I called you and she was in the background, and I love kids, so I couldn't help but talk to her. But I just think it's a great thing. And I just want to thank you so much for taking the time out. And for anyone who's watching, like I said, please go and go on to XP Eats and find out more about this. There was one more comment on there that I may have missed. If we can, producers can pop it up again. Oh, very interesting business venture. Absolutely, it's a very interesting one. Like I said, please go on. O'Neil, any last words that you want to tell anyone who may have given up or maybe thought of giving up entrepreneur life?
Interesting you said that because the moment you said like, is there anything that I want to share? Is that popped up in my mind, which
Yeah,
was, um, we are all going to fail at what we're trying to do because number one, you're trying. You just need to get into that mindset that um, you know, you're not going to hit success on your first try, second. No, I've
right,
failed a lot in terms of what I've tried to do. I've just always stayed, steady and focused. So the moment you figure out what that thing is that you want, there's a whole bunch of factors that sometimes maybe slows that success that you're expecting. It could literally just be timing. Um, it could be money, it could be all these different things, but you need to figure out how to make that a success. And sometimes it's not just the product, it's
right.
just the world that we're in. Like, what are the odds that I finished a food delivery app, during COVID when we're all forced to order through a mobile app? That wasn't on everybody's mind, other than the Uber Eats and those companies that have millions of dollars to make this work.
Right.
If you all knew COVID was happening, everybody will say, "Hey, I want to build a food delivery app," right?
Exactly.
Uh,
No, I like that. You said the moment you find that one thing that you want to do or that you need to do for your business. And I've had that where I found that, that one thing I was either missing or realized that I should do. And I mean, as an entrepreneur, we're going to go through many periods of you know,
Up, downs.
thriving, ups and downs, disappointments, and sometimes we feel like giving in or giving up, and then just not going forward with our plans. And I'm encouraged by you. I'm inspired by what you're doing and your
Yeah,
positive attitude. So, with
yeah.
that said,
Also,
pardon me.
I'm inspired by you also, especially the way that you describe my business so clearly. It's great.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, but I love what you do, so I don't mind. And I love to support. So, with that said, we thank you again for agreeing to come on here. I want to thank the audience for watching. And if you do want to support this show and O'Neil, please like and share this video everywhere you want. And O'Neil, thank you so much. And for all the audience, thank you so much for watching. And you have yourself a good night and stay well.
Good night.
Good night.